Okay, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rundown. Of course, I'm your host, Brandi Iberia. We're talking about autism awareness. So, we're looking beyond awareness and how Adrian Fleming is using tech to support the autism community and beyond. So, I got all kind of technical things going on here. So, if you're watching and you see me looking down, pray for me. Pray. This is what I want y'all to speak into my life: a team. Huh? Come on in there, somebody. Because that's what I need. So let me say this. April is Autism Awareness Month. And while everybody is posting blue hearts and showing love online, I'm always asking, what are we actually doing in real life? Right? So today I'm sitting down with Adrian Fleming. She is the creator behind Blackbird Innovations, a platform using tech to create real support for individuals on the autism spectrum. And we also have a special guest that's joining us along with Adrian, her son, Aldrich, which she'll introduce in just a little bit. But I'm so excited to really tackle this because awareness is cool, for sure. But access, that's what actually changes lives. So, Adrian, let's start with you. Why don't you come on in and just share with us who you are and then tell us about Blackbird Innovations?
Yes, my name is Adrian Fleming. I am a master's level clinician. I also have a master's in public administration. I am a home care agency owner. I've been working with the vulnerable population for over 30 years, but I decided to step into the technology space. Why? Because it's not something common for us, me being a woman, and also me being a woman, an African American woman. But I felt that I know that we can save and change lives a little differently with technology. So I created Blackbird Smart Innovations. Blackbird Smart Innovations is a wearable technology company
Okay.
that has, I want to say, we are an ecosystem of safety and protection for our most vulnerable individuals.
So, Adrian, you want to introduce your son and tell us about how the family works with this organization?
So this is my son, my youngest son, Aldrich Carthens Jr. He is the chief operating officer of Blackbird Smart Innovations. So he also works with the engineers behind the scenes. So he do a lot of the tech solutions that's needed and tech involvement as it relates to the smart wearable and also the mobile application. So
Mm-hmm.
Aldrich, just if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead.
My name is Aldrich Carthens. Like my mother stated before, I handle mainly more of the back end stuff, but I make sure the operations flow a lot more smoothly. And I make sure the vision that my mother has can run as effective as possible.
God, I love to see it. It does something for my heart. What makes this personal? And this can be a dual question. We'll start with you, Adrian. What makes this personal to you? Why did you decide to get into this work? And then Aldrich, we'll hear from you.
Right now, as it speaks right now, there is a missing vulnerable individual in Brooklyn with autism.
Oh,
Right now,
wow.
it's in current events. It's happening so frequently. It's becoming a chronic problem. Why is missing individuals with all the technology, all the resources that they have available? Why is it still happening so frequently? And I said, something got to be done about it. They use social media. Police departments are not equipped. So I said, how can I be a change agent overall, but also with this population? So I created smart technology wearables as well as a HIPAA compliant mobile application in which we are now patent approved. We're about to get FDA approved. And I really am excited about it because I know that we can save lives through either our QR code, smart wristband, or the
Mhm.
protective button that we have. We have the first ever protective button. Who has a protective button? Me. I'm the inventor of a protective button. So for individuals with autism, they may not necessarily want to wear the smartwatches, right? Because of their sensory stimulation,
Oh,
or they
sure.
don't want to have anything on their wrist or wear the pendant. So I said, okay, I don't want to lose that population because again, I'm constantly seeing individuals go missing and sometimes end up in another state. Can you imagine the trauma and harm that the caregivers and their loved ones are going through while while their child with disabilities is missing? So I said,
Mhm.
how do I solve that? I created a protective button that they can either sew on and sew off, or I have the first ever, I have a teddy bear now. This is a beta teddy bear. It's a blackbird teddy bear. You put the button in the back right here, and now the button now has become interactive. It's a GPS. It's a GPS, but it's a locator and a tracker. So once you find that individual, how can you identify them? That's the problem. We had a young man in Middletown. He went missing. They found him almost a month later in a shelter in Philadelphia. Why?
Mhm.
Because he got on the bus and then he got into a shelter, but they didn't know who he is. They found him later because someone thankfully recognized the mother constantly posting on Facebook because he was a black young man, and unfortunately they don't, the missing persons didn't go well. She had to now advocate for herself, and she found him almost a month later. So we want to solve that problem.
Amazing. And it actually reminds me of another organization. And I'm sure your products, and maybe I'll direct this question to you, Aldrich, is not just for African American individuals. However, sometimes when we are at the table, we also know that people who look like us are important to be searched for as well, right? Sometimes they're not always the one at the top of the news list, right? But sometimes when you have a seat at the table, now I could say, okay, let's find Uncle Henry, right along with Uncle Bob, okay? And so,
I just want to
Adrian, what's been that positioning for you? How do you target your audience? Who does it look like? Is it individuals? Is it employers? Maybe talk about that.
So the individuals we target a multiple vulnerable
Okay.
populations. I work with traumatic brain injury individuals with TBI because you can't see TBI, right? So
Right.
we're advocating to get into JFK because they have this reconstruction. So we're looking to see how can we be part of the transit systems, because individuals that I work with traumatic brain injury, they want to travel, you know, post the injury, right? They used to travel all over the world. They had this injury and now they cannot. So their quality of life has been impacted and impeded by this trauma that happened to them. So I
Mhm.
want to now work with the transit systems to say, okay, we have an individual that's traveling that now have this medical ID alert, even though it looks like a smartwatch. Now we have the blue bands with the red bird, tap the QR code, and now you're able to help this person. This person may have aphasia. Aphasia is, you can know, you have to speak slowly. You have to let them get all of their words out, or they may have a behavioral episode. Sometimes,
Yeah.
that customer services don't know how to handle our population, and then it comes into a big outburst, right? And then
Mhm.
so they don't want to travel anymore. So we want to be a solution for all vulnerable populations, whether you have a child with autism with our button, or a senior with our pendant. Now we have a contract with T-Mobile, or we have the smartwatch that has, now we're monitoring blood pressure and heart rate. So we are a holistic, I want to say, a whole ecosystem of wearable technologies for the most vulnerable
So I
individuals.
want to just kind of delve into impact. And so your mom was saying quite a bit. I mean, I can see the impact from a mile away, with just being able to find a loved one. But how do these tools actually improve day-to-day life for individuals? Is it a sense of security? What would you say?
So it's more than just a sense of security. It gives them a peace of mind, but also kind of give them their freedom back. So what you see was saying with the people with TBI, traumatic brain injury,
Oh, yeah.
some of them, they had normal lives. Like one of them, there was a story that I kind of, personally connected with because he drives motorcycles like I do. And unfortunately, he had into an accident, which led to his TBI. And
Mm,
that can happen to anybody. That can happen to me. My brother rides bikes. And the first thing, you think about is losing your freedom, and how do you get it back? With Blackbird, we're giving it back. So now if you want to travel, you want to go out of state, you just want to go to the grocery store, you can do that. Your loved ones can know that you're safe. The community can know that you're safe. You can do that all in a controlled environment while having your
mhm.
freedom back.
I love that. And now you said that, and then I don't know if you said this earlier, Why do we call it Blackbird? What's the significance of the Blackbird?
That is amazing. For me, Blackbird, I came up with this because I thought Blackbird is a protection bird. Blackbird has so many spiritual meanings.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it could be an eagle. I relate it to the eagle because the eagle flies high. It has like a vision and a guidance and a protection. That's why I came up with Blackbird. Everybody asks me that. So if you see some of the videos in which I'm going to send you,
Sure.
and you'll be able to see the commercial, it starts out with Blackbird and it talks about safety and freedom.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And so, and thinking about like, we decided to kind of connect today surrounding Autism Awareness Month, although your organizations and the tools that you have goes beyond individuals with autism. But in thinking about the Awareness Month, why is this kind of month so important? And what's currently frustrating you surrounding maybe the community? Obviously, you come up with solutions for some of the things, but is there anything else that's kind of standing out that you want to even share to people who may not know a lot about this month?
It's just the information. Like the first responders, we're going to equip them on how to handle this vulnerable population. Sometimes a lot of our individuals on the spectrum, they're what they consider to be high functioning individuals. You don't necessarily see their autism. You don't necessarily see their intellectual disability, right? Because they have a high functioning. So they function, or they may go to work and all of that. So there's a scenario in Hawaii in which we have a partner out there. Her son has he's high functioning. He was going to work. He wears a hoodie. Most individuals wear a hoodie with disabilities because that's his comfort zone. The police rolled up. They asked him for his ID, right? Identify himself, because he was half Black and half Hawaiian. And it didn't end up well. They beat him up very badly. And they beat him up very badly. And now he has a traumatic brain injury. And he is now, you want to say, unable to work anywhere, unable to be free and independent. So they were trying to create a solution for these individuals. So they came up with these ID cards that had a QR code. But the problem is now you're exposing the community to this individual's personal information. Right. So what I did was now say, okay, they contacted us and we say, our solution, our technology solution can assist with that. Because once you tap the community, as a community member, you see a person that's in crisis, you tap the QR code on the smartwatch, it takes you to a protective page. That page is what you want, the family members, the individuals want to only the community to know. Call this one, this one, this one, that's it. Now we have the first responder codes, meaning that the police department can now go inside of the mobile application, whether they have the app or not, and they can now see the individual's historical routes, what medication, what language they speak. They now can go further. Not only can they go further, so now communication happens and care happens there. Then now they can communicate that to the EMT. They can communicate that to the fire department, and they can communicate with the medical professionals, right? Yeah. So now they know who this person is. So instead of them going gun ho, they can now tap this individual and say, he's nonverbal. He has limited communication. So he may not be able to identify himself. He may be on a certain medication. Maybe you can look and say he did not take his medication. So now we're communicating through smart technology, which, technology is wonderful, especially when you can communicate for the needs of an individual who cannot communicate for themselves.
I mean, I am so impressed and just honored to talk to both of you guys, Adrian and Aldrich. The work that you're doing is second to none. I haven't heard of things like this, even if they are out there. The awareness is so important. And so this is why we're even doing this interview today, to let people know if you're raising someone who's autistic, or if you're autistic and listening to this, there's support for you, there are tools, there are resources for you. So Adrian, what's next for Blackbird Innovations? And then Aldrich, let us know how we can stay connected with you guys.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go to Ghana. We will approach. I know. I invite you to my launch. We're having a launch in June 20th. I send you the
June 20th. Okay.
Yes, and we are going to Puerto Rico. They're interested as well. So we are so excited because they love the technology. They love the fact that we created a solution for vulnerable individuals, but also with confidence and protection. I don't want to scream out that I have autism, right? I want to live a normal life. So but if I have my loved ones who are worried to death that I have a job and but now I'm giving them a peace of mind by saying I can still be independent because I want my independence, but now I have a smart solution of protection. Now I have a whole community. I have my neighbors, I have my loved ones, I have the police department. They all now is in my protective system, and they now can be notified any event of the crisis or any event I'm in harm's way. So that is why we're excited.
I love it. Aldrich, how do we get connected? Where do we learn more?
Yeah, so we have 2 Instagram pages. One is Blackbird_smart_tech. The other one's _Blackbird_smart_innovations_. We also have a website that you can follow us at.
I love it.
Blackbirdtech.app. So the website is blackbirdtech.app.
Okay, excellent. Awesome. Oh my God. Thank you guys for taking a little bit of time with me just to share a little bit more about Blackbird. Listen, awareness is the beginning, but innovation like this is what real support looks like. Shout out to Adrian Fleming and Blackbird Innovations for creating something that actually meets people where they are. This is The Rundown with Brandi Iberia, where we break down culture, community, and the conversations we need to be having with just a little bit of faith sprinkled in there. I will see you next time. You guys keep it locked for more.
Thank you. And please make sure no peanut oil. It's very important. How long will the delivery take?
Well, I'm on break now. I don't know, but I've been feeling a bit weird.
Did you know that in the United States alone, an estimated 400,000 children go missing every year? Among them, autistic children who elope are at a higher risk of danger.
I was distracted for a second and he was gone. I'm so sorry.
Every year, countless individuals face life-threatening situations while home alone. Seizures and severe allergies are among the many perils that may arise. Giving medical professionals fast access to critical care information means quicker decisions, better treatment, and peace of mind when every second counts. Blackbird Smart Wristband and the mobile app empowers vulnerable travelers to move freely, stay safe, and feel supported wherever they go.
Dad, don't worry. I'm on my way there now. Voicemail box.
Every year, thousands of elderly individuals with dementia and disabilities go missing. In the United States alone, over 100,000 cases are reported annually.
You okay, sir? Great. You have one.
Introducing the Blackbird Smart Wristband.
911. What's your emergency?
A lady just fainted. She seemed to have suffered a seizure. The police are here. I have her emergency contact numbers. I'll call them and let them know.
Our smart wristband will soon be placed in travel systems. Blackbird Smart Innovations makes travel safe with low-risk exposure.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, we got the results back. She'll be okay. That device saved her life.
Don't let your loved ones become a statistic. Take necessary precautions to ensure their safety and well-being.
Yes, sir. He's okay. I'll take him to the nearest police station.
Oh, thank you. Thank goodness. I was so worried.
It is our mission to save lives, one wrist at a time. Visit blackbirdtech.app.